What does DOM stands for in JavaScript? Document Object Model. Which method is used to select an element by its ID? Get element by ID. How can you remove an element from DOM using JavaScript? How can we remove parent dot remove child dot in comma in brackets we get element? How can you change CSS color from an element with ID demo to red using JavaScript? Documents get element by ID demo style color is equal to red. Which method adds a new child node to an existing DOM style append.child? This is important. What is the best way to add CSS class active to an element selected with JavaScript? Element.classList.add active. Which method returns first element that matches specified CSS selector? Query selector. What is an event listener in JavaScript? A piece of code. Now please read this carefully. It is the definition of event listener. A piece of code that listens for and responds to event. Which function is used to add an event listener in an HTML? Add event listener. Which method prevents default behavior of an event? Example, preventing from form submission. Prevent default. What does DOM stands for in JavaScript? Answer is a document object model. Which method is used to get an element by its ID? In DOM, it's get element by ID. Which property can change the text inside an HTML? Inner text can change the text inside an HTML element. What will document.query selector hash title select? First element with ID title. Which method adds a new HTML element to the DOM? Both A and B means create element and append child adds new HTML element to the DOM. Which property is used to change the CSS style of an element in JavaScript? Style. Which DOM method returns a collection of elements with a given class name? Get elements by class name. What type of object does document.getElement by tag name return? HTML collection. Which DOM event is triggered when a user clicks on HTML element? On click. When user click on HTML element, DOM event triggered is on click. Which JavaScript statement is used to write directly into HTML element? Both A and B means document.write and element.inner HTML is equal to. What does the document.body represent? The document.body represents the body element of the document. Which method replaces an existing child node with a new node? Option number A, replace child new node, comma old node. What is returned by document.getElement by tag name? The option is B, an element HTML collection of n p elements. Which DOM method returns all elements with a specified class name? GetElements by class name returns all the elements with specific class name. Which method is used to select an element by its ID? Element by its ID. Document get elements by ID. B option is correct. Which method can be used to create new HTML element in DOM? Option number B6. B option, create document.create element. What does document.query selector return? If multiple elements return, what is written if multiple elements match the selector? Option number C is correct. The first matching element. What does the element.append child node do? Option B adds a node as the last child of the element. Which method is used to remove specific child node from an element? Which method is used to remove specific child node? Specific child, the answer is A, remove dot child. A option is correct. How do you set the text inside an HTML element using DOM? The answer is C, element dot inner text. Okay, C option is the correct. Question 1. Which object is used to handle the events that occur when a key is pressed on a keyboard? Answer B correct. keyboard event is used to handle the events when a key is pressed on a keyboard? Which of the following are the main keyboard events in modern JavaScript? Key down and key up. Option B. Key down and key up are the main keyboard events in modern JavaScript. Modern JavaScript में key down और key up main events है. Which keyboard event is deprecated in modern browsers? Which keyboard event is deprecated in modern browser? Key press. ठीक है. Option C is the correct answer. In JavaScript, which object is responsible for handling events? कौन सा ऑब्जेक्ट रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैंडलिंग इवेंट जनरेटेड बाय माउस इंटरेक्शन? माउस इंटरेक्शन से कौन से होते हैं? माउस इवेंट्स. आंसर डी इज करेक्ट. विच माउस इवेंट occurs when a user presses a mouse button down over an element? कौन सा माउस इवेंट अक्कर होता है? तो वो होता है ऑप्शन ए, माउस डाउन इवेंट. व्हेन यूजर प्रेसेस माउस बटन डाउन, तो इससे याद रखना है माउस डाउन इवेंट. विच इवेंट इज ट्रिगर्ड व्हेन अ यूजर रिलीजेस अ माउस बटन? माउस अप. अगर जब यूजर रिलीज करते हैं माउस बटन को तो माउस अप इवेंट ट्रिगर होता है. व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन माउस ओवर एंड माउस एंटर? आंसर बी, माउस एंटर डज नॉट बबल, माउस ओवर बबल्स. विच property of mouse event object returns which mouse button was pressed? ऐसी कौन सी प्रॉपर्टी है माउस इवेंट ऑब्जेक्ट की जो रिटर्न करती है विच माउस बटन वाज प्रेस्ड? इवेंट डॉट बटन. डी ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. विच इवेंट इज ट्रिगर्ड व्हेन द माउस पॉइंटर लीव्स एन एलिमेंट और वन ऑफ इट्स चाइल्ड एलिमेंट्स? माउस आउट. नाइन्थ का ए ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट. विच माउस इवेंट फायर्स व्हेन द यूजर मूव्स द माउस पॉइंटर ओवर एन एलिमेंट? माउस मूव भी होता है, माउस ओवर भी होता है, माउस एंटर भी हो सकता है. तो ऑप्शन डी, ऑल ऑफ द अबव. विच इवेंट इज कॉमनली यूज्ड टू ट्रिगर फॉर्म वैलिडेशन बिफोर सबमिशन? आंसर इज सी, ऑन सबमिट. विच ऑपरेटर इज यूज्ड टू चेक बोथ वैल्यू एंड टाइप इन जावास्क्रिप्ट वैलिडेशन? आंसर ए, this 3 equal to check value and type in JavaScript validation. In JavaScript alert, in form validation is used to? Answer is D, display a message to user. If you write return false inside the on submit function, it will? Answer is B, prevent the form from being submitted. Which JavaScript method is used to select an element by its name attribute? The answer is A, document.getElements by name. Which event occurs when a user clicks on an HTML element? Answer is C, on click. What does the keyword refer to inside a function when called from an object? What does this keyword refers to inside a function when called from an object? Answer is C, the object that called the function. In form validation, is NaN value is used to check if? Answer is B, the value is not a number. NaN full form is not a number. Please remember this is important. Which event is best suited for running form validation just before form submission? Answer is B, on submit. This is also very much important. On submit MCQs are very much coming. Which method can attach an event handler to an element in JavaScript? Answer is D, add event listener.